Hey class, so this lesson is just about looking at investment alternatives. Some of you might start thinking about this stuff just because you want to save for school or a car or just things like that. When you get out of post-secondary school too and you want to buy houses or saving for families, you'll start to even think about this stuff a little bit more. So a mutual fund is a type of investment where people pool their money to buy stocks. Okay, this is done through investment companies. Okay, so we have a mutual fund. A GIC is a guaranteed investment certificate, so investment that pays an interest at a fixed rate. So essentially, you're guaranteed to make a certain amount of money. RSP is registered retirement savings plan. Okay, investment to provide income when you retire if you don't have a pension. So that's something to even consider about when you're thinking about looking at a job, is looking at what's your pension like for a job. And then lastly, an RESP, Registered Education Savings Plan, investment for future education. So what I would really recommend is, talk to your parents about this stuff, okay? Because see what they're doing. What have they done over their lifetime? Okay, what have they helped, right? Just to see some of their situations. So let's look at a couple of situations if we want to solve. And again, we're just focused on the solution method. We're not going to be using the TVM solver, right? So example 1 here, a mutual fund has an average annual rate of return of 12.45%. The investment company charges 2% per year as a fee for managing the account. Suppose $1,000 is invested for 3 years. Calculate the approximate value of the investment assuming the annual compounding. Okay, so let's talk about some of the elements here. So first of all, there is an interest rate, right, of 12.445%, but 2% of that goes to the managing account, right? So really you're left with an interest rate of 10.45% on your money, okay? So if we put that into a decimal, 0.1045. Okay. It says that it's annual, so it just means once a year. And if we're looking at our p-value, we're going to start with $1,000, okay? Our I value is equaling that interest rate divided by a compounding period of 1, so it just stays as that. And then if we're looking at our time, okay, we're saying for 3 years, right? So 3 times 1 is just equal to 3. So if we plug that into our formula, that's a 1, sorry, to the exponent of 3, we find that A equals a value of approximately $1,347.40. Okay, so that's how much money they would have made. So just highlighting again, this is what they started with, this is what they came out with. So they only made a interest of $347.40. Okay, so that's just the interest accumulated. So make sure you take note of that. Okay, so, and it's important to notice that, remember, you're not just getting 12.45% because the 2% is taken off of that. So there is fees that you have to pay when you're investing money through someone else. So looking at another example, so a mutual fund has an average annual rate of return of 5.29 of negative 5.29% if the investment company fees for managing it is 2% per year. Calculate the approximate value of a $1,000 investment after 2 years, assuming annual is compounding. So again, annual compounding rate. Just want to point that out. Okay. So you got to look for keywords in financial math. So the value of the investment will be approximation since all the conditions of the investment may not be known. So let's just talk about the interest rate. So first of all, we're saying that the interest rate, okay, is actually a negative number this time of return, okay? And that they're taking away 2% of that, okay? So we get a negative 7.29 value, okay? So if we were to actually look at the interest rate, when we put that into decimal form, it's going to be negative 0.0729 because, again, if we divided it by 1, because of the annual, right? The time frame we're looking at is 2 years. Again, annual would be times 1, so it gives us a value of 2. And our principal investment is $1,000. So if we were to go solve this, we get A equals P1 plus, oh, actually, and I want you to know 1 plus negative, okay, 0.0729. You just have to make sure you take that into account. Okay? And our principal here was $1,000. So when we actually go to solve that, we find out we get a value of approximately $859.51. So the value of the investment after 2 years is $859.51. And this can happen, guys. Like, you can lose money in the market when you're investing if prices go down. So it's important to know that even though you're putting money into some of these accounts, you're not always guaranteed to make money. So just be wary when you're going in looking for stuff like that. Okay, guys, so that's where I want to leave the lesson. So the homework here, if you can't see that, is page 472, numbers 3, 5, 6, 8, 12. Okay. Don't forget, you guys are also working on your cheat sheet, okay, because you'll need that for the exam, and we're going to have a little practice, essentially a test tomorrow. It's not very long because it's just so you can get practice for the exam, so I need to be able to turn around and mark it fairly quickly and get it back to you guys. Okay, have a great day.